It's great to have you. The new album is coming out 28th. It's called The Devil You Know.
There is.
I found that title really interesting because Heaven and Hell is essentially Black Sabbath from the Heaven and Hell days.
Yeah.
And the album is called The Devil You Know.
Yeah.
Were you playing on words there, or was it just a coincidence?
Yes, no, he's playing on words. It was Geezer's idea, actually. Geezer came up with the title of it. And I thought it was really good. Well, we all thought it was good. And he came up with a lot of different titles, but that one seemed to fit. And it is, it's Black Sabbath, but it's Heaven and Hell. It's the Devil You Know. There is sort of that play on that word, you know.
Yeah.
Really, people know us, but we're under a different name.
But do you think perhaps the album is extremely Black Sabbath-esque, so you're not Black Sabbath in name only?
Yes, it would certainly be Black Sabbath. It would be. I mean, that's the album we'd write. We've written the album not thinking, oh, this has got to be Heaven and Hell or Black Sabbath. We've written it because that's what we do anyway. We liked what we'd done.
Yep. What was the recording process like? Could you just talk me through that? Because I know you recorded it in about 2 or 3 different locations. The writing was done elsewhere and the recording elsewhere.
Yeah, well, once we decided we were going to make an album, after the tour, I came back to England, the other guys went back to LA, and at home, when I was at home in my studio, I started putting ideas down for it. I probably put 25, 30 ideas down on a CD with my engineer, Mike Exeter, and just built up a rough idea of some songs, you know, riffs and whatnot. And then Ronnie did the same in his studio, and then Geezer did the same. So it meant that when we meet up, we've got a lot of stuff to listen to and decide what we want to use. And it was a good way of doing it, really, because we could sit down in a room. Well, I went over to LA, and then we sat down at Ronnie's house and we listened to the stuff. And we said, oh yeah, let's work on this one. And we picked a riff, and then we'd pull it apart and put new parts in, and you know, just different ideas. And if I'd got half a song, and they liked it, then we'd use that and then add more to it. So we'd done it all the same with them. If they got half a song, we'd add something to it. And that's really how we did it. And then just started changing things as we went on. And once we got that, we'd done 6 weeks of writing. And then we had a break for a month. Well, a break. We did a tour for a month, a Metal Masters tour of the States. Then after that, I went back to England, done a couple more ideas, and then came back over to LA, again to Ronnie's house, and we started doing another 6 weeks of writing. And then we were ready, we were finished, and then we went into a sound stage rehearsal room and started bashing out the songs a bit louder and rehearsing what we were going to do. So once we got them all planned, we got the 10 songs, we came over to England and went in and recorded them at Rockville Studios.
When you did record them, I read that you said a lot of the songs were done in one take, or as much as possible.
Oh yeah,
in one take.
we went into, that was the idea of rehearsing them well beforehand, because we wanted to come in the studio and play and capture the song as soon as we can without sort of doing it 25 times, you know. And we did. We 1 or 2 takes, we got it down. You know, we might have done something, and Vinny might have said, "Oh, I might try a different bit here," and then we do it again. But that's otherwise it was pretty well nailed straight away.
But why was it so important for you to do everything in one take as far as possible?
Well, we wanted to capture the live feel of it all, capture the energy of it. If you start playing a song too many times, you lose a little bit of that excitement in it, you know. And we've done that in the past, where you'll keep playing over the song, and then you get sort of, you don't play it quite as enthusiastic the 9th time, you know. So we found if we'd rehearse them well, then go into the studio and play them, then hopefully we can capture that feel.
And where's your inspiration coming from? Because a lot of these riffs over the years have just gotten thicker and heavier and more Sabbath-esque. So initially you said it was Boris Karloff and scary movies and wanting to write scary music.
Yeah.
But today, all these years on, where are you getting inspiration from?
You know, I don't know. I don't know where they come from. I'm lucky I've been able to do that. I can usually walk into my studio or wherever and able to come up with these sort of things. And it's happened when we're in LA as well. We'd already got the basic ideas of the riffs to work on. And then I'd start coming up with other riffs while we're there, you know, to fit in. If we needed a section and we didn't have anything on tape, I'd come up with a new part. It's just something I do. I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah. Now, obviously, as Heaven and Hell and as Black Sabbath, you've been touring for years and years. Heaven and Hell particularly has done quite a few tours recently.
Yeah.
How much longer do you think you guys can go on touring?
Or another couple of weeks. I don't know. I never really think of that. I mean, you don't know. You never know. I was asked that question 30 years ago. You know, how long do you think you'll keep doing it? Oh, I don't know. As long as we enjoy it or we're capable of doing it. If we're incapable of doing it by any fault, then we'd have to stop. But while we're enjoying it and able to do it, we'll carry on.
Was the touring the reason it took so long to go from the live album to this studio recording?
Well, yeah, we've been out. We was touring since we'd done the 3 tracks for the Dio years, which was when we first got back together. And that was just going to be that. It weren't going to be anything else. We weren't going to be touring, right? And then it sort of got into touring. We were asked about touring. We thought, wow, yeah, that sounds good. And then we toured extensively then. We were out for about 10 months. And maybe longer. And it was in the end of that tour when we thought, oh God, it's all going to be over soon. Well, you know, it seemed a bit sad. And I said to the others, we were in a restaurant, we started talking about things, and said, does anybody fancy doing an album, you know? And everybody says, yeah. So that's what we did. We said, that's great, we do an album. And, it seemed the right thing to do, you know. And we've done everything in stages, and it's been good to do that. And it made sense to do an album, and we were all pleased about that.
I have to ask you this. Any chance of a Black Sabbath reunion with Ozzy, the original lineup?
Yes, well, everybody will ask that at some point. No idea. There's always a chance. We didn't know we'd be doing Heaven and Hell, but you know, there's always that chance of doing something. It all depends. I mean, that's something that could happen, but it certainly won't be happening this year. That's for sure.
Okay. And working with the Heaven and Hell lineup with Ronnie James Dio and Geezer, was there a sense of familiarity while you were going through the stuff on this album, or was it just meeting up together after a while and trying to thrash out new ideas and it felt fresh?
Oh no! As soon as we got together, certainly for the Dio years, the Black Sabbath, the Dio years. As soon as we got together for those 3 tracks, it was just like bang, straight into it, and of course, then into the tour, and after the tour, of course, when we came to start writing, it was easy. I mean, we just were so familiar with everything and each other, you know, it just made it so much easier.
Your hand's in a brace, why is that?
Yes,
Should fans be worried?
I've done some damage to my thumb at the moment, so I've got to have it like that.
Should fans be worried about tour dates?
I hope not.
Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough.
No, it's going to be all right, but I just have to keep it still for a bit. I've had some shots in it. You know.
Yeah. So either way, soon enough, fans will get a chance to see you guys live.
Absolutely.
And the new album out, April 28th, The Devil You Know. It's going to be massive.
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.